Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today I have two explanations for you guys. Why Bitcoin dipped, why it dumped. And I know some of you guys are panicking. I could see it through the comments. But most of you guys, I could tell, are actually taking advantage and utilizing this dip as a gift. And you're able to buy more now since things are cheaper. And I believe that is the right call. But today I'm going to share with you two reasons why I think Bitcoin has come down and what should we do about it? What is going on with Bitcoin? So let's discuss. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Every morning, I spend some time to read through the live chat, and it really cheers me up. No matter if Bitcoin is up or down, you guys are absolutely hilarious to read. Anyways, all right, let's move on. So, Bitcoin is at 57.8, a little bit lower than yesterday, and it seems like we have broken down through this 59.6 support, unfortunately. However, there are good news, and I'm going to try to explain why Bitcoin is down a little more and why you should not be panicking, because people are still remembering what happened in April and May, remembering what happened in 2020 and all the times before, and there's some doubt that's starting to creep up. All right, so let's get to it. There's a couple things, first of all, I want to talk about. Now, first thing is, and this is what I said the last few times, the final dip. And a lot of people thought, okay, well, you said final dip there and then final dip here and final dip. Now, that final dip isn't just like one time, okay? And I mean, if you look back in 2017, so you see that despite the fact Bitcoin went up, right, to the moon to 20,000 in 2017, you can see that there was a significant dip here, about 26%. 26%. Before it went up on a 264% gain. So, it kind of shows you, right? This is why I've said that this reminds me a lot of 2017, first of all. Because this dip was the final shakeout. And you see, this is zoomed in on 2017, right? It wasn't just a linear upwards trend. This was a shakeout right here. This was a shakeout right here. This was a shakeout. And even midway through, there was a little bit more, a few days more of shakeouts. But this was the final big shakeout before the huge run up. And it's exactly at the same time as right now, right? Mid-November, right before December. So this reminds me a lot of that. And I said the final dip. I didn't mean exactly at what time, but I did indicate that I think right now this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a final shakeout before this massive run, and we just have to get through it. We just have to get through it. Now, I was looking at a couple other things that relate to this because, of course, I mentioned about whales. They like to take advantage of greedy people, the long leverage people, right? So over the past few days, you could see that we did have a lot of shorts, or a lot of longs liquidated, I mean. So you could see 420 million, then 364 million, then 168 million, and then 186 and 134. But you could see it's starting to decline. So longs are getting smarter, realizing, well, even though I think Bitcoin's will go higher, I shouldn't be so greedy and play with my 20x leverage, 30x leverage, 50x leverage, 100x leverage, right? So the leverage is coming down, but this definitely had something to do with what we're seeing right now. Now, the other thing is, and this was brought to my attention before, someone in Patreon also brought this up to me, and I have to share it because it's almost too accurate. And it has to do with the lunar cycle. And if I didn't know this, but you can find an indicator that is called moon phase. And if you apply it, well, it kind of tells you a lot. So this is the day chart zoomed out, right? And obviously the white moon is a full moon. And then the gray moon is like the start of a new cycle for a moon cycle, a lunar cycle. And then in between you have the half moons and stuff, right? And I mean, if you look at it, this correlates with almost every single major dip. Like almost every single one. I can't explain it, but it does. So you look at, even going back to September over here, you can see there's a dip over here, right? You can see there's a dip in November of 2020. You can see that the major dip that happened in January 26, well, it ended on the full moon cycle. You could see over here in February, there was a major dip. That was a full moon. You could see the one in March. That was a full moon. The one in April was a full moon. The one in May was a full moon. The one in June is a full moon. The one in July is a full moon. Like every single major dip over the last year correlated with a full moon cycle. Even this small one in August correlated. The one in September where we had one correlated, right? The one in October where we had a little dip, right? That correlated with the full moon. And guess when the next full moon is? Tomorrow, November 19th. Okay, so does this mean we're going to dip today and tomorrow and then we'll be done with it and then it's start of a new cycle and then we start rallying? Quite possibly. You know what's also happening on 19th? Well, that's when options expirations is over with and it starts over again. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain this, but you zoom out and you realize every single major dip, I shouldn't say major dip. These are all like temporary dips, all right? Temporary corrections. I'll take that back. But you could see that almost every single one correlated with a full moon. And I can't explain that. I can't. I don't know why people, there's something to it. People do crazy things when there's a full moon out, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know. So this could be caused due to the full moon. I mean, as silly as that may sound, and some of you guys may not think that's silly, but as silly as that may sound, that could be the reason. And with that, after tomorrow, after the full moon cycle completes, then we will start rallying back up, get back up to 60-something thousand and continue onwards. Remember, November is still not over. A lot of people are still like really hammering on PlanB, so I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But just to show you guys, in terms of options expirations, tomorrow is a big options expiration, not as big as the month close one, but tomorrow for November 19th, right, the max pain price is actually at 62,000. So sometimes I look at that max pain price, sometimes we do, hit that max pain price exactly. Tomorrow's actually is at 62,000, which means that there's a good chance that we can see Bitcoin just pump right back up to 62,000. Maybe as soon as the moon cycle's over, right, before the expirations, it just shoots right back up to 62,000. That could be a possibility too. Or we could just continue lower and then this gets invalidated and we've had that final drop where we hit that bottom and then we start coming back up again, right? But does this mean that the cycle, or the bull cycle, I should say, not the moon cycle, does this mean the bull cycle's over? I don't believe so by any stretch. I think we will continue forward. We will continue forward. I mean, honestly, we haven't seen a big correction in quite some time. And if you're actually paying attention in terms of how much we have fallen from the top to now, it's not that bad. I mean, as bad as it may seem, it's about, 17% from the top? And the one I showed you from 2017, that was actually a 26% drop, okay? If you count starting from that day. If you count it from before, it's actually even more, like 30-something%. But if you count it from the day it started dropping to the bottom, that shakeout, that final big shakeout before things went up, was about negative 26%. So relatively speaking, we're at 17 or 18%. Can we go lower? Yes. But just like history have shown us, just because we have a small little correction does not mean that a huge rally is right behind it. No, it means that, yes, we could have that right afterwards, especially if we look at history and look at what's happened previous cycles. All right, so that's what I want to start out with, but there's a couple other things. Now, some of you guys may be panicking. It's like, well, I don't believe any of this, all right? We're going to go lower and we're just going to fall to zero. No, we're not, okay? And just to prove a point, the portfolio that I built along with you guys back in end of June till now, despite today's drop, despite yesterday's drop, despite the last 7 days, you could see down 13%. Well, guess what? The performance of the portfolio is still up about 94%, right? So it shows you, had you been patient, you've been dollar cost averaging, and you've simply been holding without any panic moves, no panic sells, no panic buys, you just stuck with your portfolio, well, you're fine. And this is from June. This is not from like January, February, or March when things were really, really low. This is end of June, right? So it does show you that things aren't all that bad. Not all gains are lost, okay? So just to show you guys, and I did DCA yesterday, and I will continue to DCA until the end of the year. I may even just keep this going for years and see what happens to it. All right, now 2 other things I want to talk about. Number 1 is Willy Woo posted this heat map that shows people either buying the dip or selling, either panic selling or panic buying. I don't know if it's panic, but it does actually show panic selling. Whenever you have all these like big red circles, that's when people are really panic selling. And the funny thing is, people are learning, because look at right now. Despite the fact that Bitcoin went down, guess what? There's no large red circles. This is not retail investors panicking. If anything, retail investors are getting smarter and buying. You can see the blue. The blue actually indicates buying. So there's a lot of retail investors that are buying right now, and this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see, which goes back to my main point of, sometimes we have whale manipulation. We have guys that's trying to pull the strings and cause the market to go down and cause you to sell, right? But right now, it doesn't seem like majority of you guys are falling for that. You're learning, you're taking advantage of the situation, you're viewing what we have as a gift, and you're dollar cost averaging, and that is the right way to do it. So this is very surprising. This is very surprising. I thought there would be more red, but no, it's actually both are in the blue, which means people are taking advantage. And lastly, since so many people are like ganging up on PlanB now, he has to clarify his 98,000 prediction for November is not based on stock to flow, but based on the floor model. And he has said this before, although he keeps, I could see how people are confused because he posted stock to flow model with his predictions. But he does have a few things going on. He has a stock to flow model, stock to flow X model, and then he has 2 others, floor model and on-chain model. And the floor model is basically him applying his magic 8-ball, analysis and time travel analysis, and him just making predictions based on his skills. It wasn't really based on stock to flow, and he has said that many times, but I think people just get confused by it. And then there's an on-chain model, but basically he's saying, right, that no, if we don't hit 98,000, the stock to flow is not invalidated. That is what he's saying. Just because we don't hit 98,000 by the end of November, stock to flow goes out the window. At some point, it will be invalidated, but not by the end of November. So he just wants to clarify that. But, PlanB has done Bitcoin a lot of good. Stock to flow has been accurate. It's given a lot of people hope, a model to look forward to, and one that projects Bitcoin going forwards, right? And he has contributed a lot to people's education and helping them hodl and just helping them get in tune with Bitcoin, right? So it's kind of a sad thing to see a lot of people now coming after him just because he may be wrong with one prediction. But let's not forget, his past 3 has been accurate, right? There's still time for this one. Maybe we're off a little bit, right? But that doesn't make the cycle over, doesn't make the stock to flow model over. And I think we should just get past it and stop trying to gang up on him. It just, there's no good that can come from it. Outside of that, the only other thing is I like to point out that if you look at the overall market cap, and I've said this before, when Bitcoin dominance shoots up and skyrockets, that's usually when you have true panic, okay? And right now, Bitcoin dominance did not. Bitcoin dominance has been at 42% for quite some time. So this correlates to what Willy Woo showed with the buy and sell heat map, because most people are not selling. They're not panic dumping. This is definitely not time for that. And it shows that people are not panic dumping, because trust me, I've been through a lot of panic dumps before. And when that happens, altcoins are double, triple, quadruple the sell off of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin dominance shoots up to a big number. And that's not what we're seeing right now. In fact, most are just aligning. They're about the same, right? There are some winners. There's still some winners. But just to put things in perspective, this is not time to panic sell, because the majority of people are not. Some may be taking a little bit more off the table, trying to get some cash on the side, preparing for maybe a further dip. I could see that happening. And of course, there are some that are panic selling. But a lot of people are taking advantage and buying a dip, and that's how you make money. You make money when you buy low and sell high. That's how it works, right? So those of you guys that have the ability, well, you may want to think about it, because this is a pretty good dip from top, about 17, 18%. Can we go lower? Sure. Based on the moon cycle, again, I can't explain it, but if we keep going down until tomorrow, maybe we go lower. Or maybe we bounce right back up to 62,000, because that's the max pain price for options expiration tomorrow. So we'll see. All right, guys, now let's do some Q&A. All right, it's going up. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are new, of course. They're panicking. They like to spread FUD. I could see it in the live chat. I'm trying to give them a benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to show compassion, but there are just some people that I do have to kick out. But for the other people that are just scared, that don't believe, right? I get it. You may not have been in the market for long, right? Maybe you didn't sit through the up and downs. But everyone that's in the market that have made any kind of money or have made life-changing wealth have gone through this and have bought low, and now they're getting rewarded. That's how it works. Too many people get in and they're trying to buy at tops. And of course, if you buy at tops, there's a chance it could come down. And yes, it may hurt, but it's an unrealized loss. Sometimes you just hold it and it comes right back up. But what's even better is that you can dollar cost average while things are low. You bring your cost average down, so when things come up, you're in the green. That's how it works. That's how it works with any kind of investment. You can't expect things to go up to the moon, right? But I'm saying that to the new people, because for majority of you guys, you have sat through this. Even if you got in early 2021, you sat through when Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 64,000, then all the way back down to 30,000, then all the way back up to 68,000. And now we're at 657, 58, right? But had you DCA'd while we were in 30,000, we were there for what? Months, 2-3 months, right? You would be way, way, way up. And it goes for people that bought at 3,800 and Ethereum was under $100. And all this time you could have DCA'd in, right? So that is the name of the game. So I'm not saying that to kind of discourage people that didn't get in early, but that's the reality of it, right? When it comes to investments, you have to have patience. You have to basically know that you're in it for a long haul, not for short-term gains. VW Dukes. F the FUD. Don't let those jerks get your coins, folks. Strap on and get it. Yes, that is right. David, I'm neutral on render. I don't like the premise of sharing GPUs. What do you think about Harmony and their upcoming trustless bridge? Well, there's a big article on CryptosRUs.com about it. I think it's going to be good. I covered it last night, or yesterday morning, I should say. But I do think it's good for them. Obviously, any kind of bridge, bring over liquidity is good for the chain. I really do have high hopes for Cosmos. Yes, I do too. I think the ecosystem is vast, and it's only going to get bigger. So, yes. Excited about today. Bought Bitcoin, Solana, Helium, and CRO. Thanks for keeping us informed. Thank you. You know, yesterday, everyone wanted FOMO into Crypto.com, right? It was up like 50%. I'm like, I love Crypto.com, but you don't want to get in something after it pumps up 50%. Well, look at it. Today's down 8%. So today is a better time to buy CRO than yesterday, right? So I think Crypto.com will continue going forward, but it needs to take a breather at some point. And today is one of those days. Show us your Litecoin tattoo. I'm afraid it's in a place that I cannot show. Could you look at Cave, blockchain metaverse game? Stefan, I'm going to stay away from games. There's too many people that are coming out with new NFT collections and games. So I'm going to stay away from now unless it's a well-known one. Ed asked about BenQ, the first and only DeFi lending and borrowing platform on Avalanche. I have looked at it before. It's very early, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Avalanche, their TVL is going higher, almost 11 billion, and something like BenQ will help it. Tony, today's a good day. My wife just signed up for Coinbase. Asked me, that George guy you met a while back, 50, 25, 25. You got to keep her there. You got to keep her, Tony. Torum hasn't really been killing it. The users are real. I don't know if they're real or not. I mean, they're doing fine, but them claiming they have like, you know, tens of thousands of users on there, I have a hard time believing that. Appreciate you, George. Hodl gang. Yup, that is correct. What is it? Ryan says, shout out to my boy Michael, who started in crypto this year, has learned a lot from you. Welcome, Michael. Let's see. There are some comments I just can't repeat. That's on Gala. Gala blew up mostly because of Coinbase. So you gotta wait them out. They were up like 100% yesterday. I like Gala. They're a decentralized gaming platform. They have a lot of NFT games on there. But the one thing that really stands out with them is their leadership. You know, created by the guy who was a co-founder of Zanga, who started Farmville. So you got to figure he knows a thing or two about viralness of games. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to get through these super chats. There's just a lot. Draw vertical lines on your chart every third Friday. Almost everyone is dumping. That Jay said, I think that's more correlated with the moon cycle than that. How's your knee? It still kind of sucks. It's still not healed. It's like a permanent damage. I gotta see a doctor about it. True Holder from Holland. What is your opinion on BMW i4 M50? I just ordered one. I don't know too much about the i4. I know the i3 wasn't too good. i4, I don't know much about. So we'll see. And you have to wait until April to get it. See, that's the problem, Daniel. All these car manufacturers are so strapped for cars. So you can't get them. You have to wait months. What do you think about Crypto.com? I talked about it yesterday. I do like them quite a lot. Can they go from 50 cents to 500? No, they can't. Do you see BTC as used as a currency in the future? No, I think BTC will be the new digital gold. It'll be something everyone holds. I think CBDCs or some other kind of digital currency will be the future currency, but I don't believe it's Bitcoin. What do you think about Phantom? I like them. They've just been stagnant recently, but they have a big, robust ecosystem. So I think they'll continue to do well. My brother Dustin trying to get me to sell ADA into MobiCoin. He's crazy, right? I mean, I know of Mobi, but they're very early. Very, very early. ADA is one of those coins that will move when least expected. That's what happened. 1 year ago, ADA was at 10 cents. So you can't argue the performance of ADA. But recently has been stalling because of the DEX situation, right? It needs a DEX. But I don't know that much about Mobi, but yeah, I don't know. Not really a fan of Cortese. They're like a layer 2 / Oracle. I don't know. What's up with stake.com? Who powers it? What network? I have no idea. No idea. That sounds like a gambling site. T-Lock, it's funny, my 8-year-old kid came back with that same joke. I'm guessing you have little kids too. What do you say about Movie Block or Cardia Chain? Neither. Not a fan of either one. What do you think about Squid Moon? Probably not. No. Squid Moon. Okay, so before it was all meme coins based on Doge, based on some kind of dog. Now everyone's trying to do a Squid Moon kind of thing because the first project blew up and then they were hacked and they're still doing well, and then everyone is trying to use Squid or Moon in the game, in the name. So I'm going to refrain from looking at any of them. All right, man, almost 11,000 people. Almost 11,000 people here. Make sure you guys smash the like. I appreciate you guys being here. I know some of you guys are afraid. Some of you guys just say this is another Thursday, right? But we're going to have volatility. But the name of the game is to be patient and hold. That's it. Okay, if you have patience, you're buying the good coins and you're holding it, and you may even take advantage of dips like today, and you could DCA, or you're just DCAing on a schedule. That's really what it comes down to, right? And you can ignore everything else. Chris, yes. What do you think about Solo Drop? I have no idea what Solo Drop is. Is it too late to buy Crypto.com? No. It's much better to buy today than yesterday because it's down 8%. Yesterday was up like 40%, and I warned people not to get in on top. And I do believe that they will continue higher, but you got to wait it out. You got to wait until they kind of form that base before getting in. Are you going to review the new Golf R? It's impossible to review these cars, Justin. Dealerships don't have them. I actually went to an auto show that had it, right? I looked at it. It was not that impressive. So, I don't know. But I do want to test it. I just don't know when. Because these dealerships don't have any cars for me to borrow. Daryl, appreciate it. What's your thoughts on Hero? They're creating a Tesla proto virtual reality chamber. Isn't that the one where I get Hero confused with another token? So is it Meta Hero? Is this the one where they convert things? Yeah, they scan something, they make it into NFT, right? I don't know. Like, this doesn't interest me at all. Creating your own 3D avatar. Scan and create your 3D NFTs. I guess is okay. I mean, yeah, it's not something that I'm terribly interested in, Michael. I don't see the bigger picture with this. Mt. Gox returning thousands of recouped coins that are available to sell on November 20th. Hedge fund short, selling massive dump of these coins. Well, that could relate. That could relate, but I have to do more research into it. I didn't know the exact date, but that could relate to what's happening. Do you know what happened to Algor last night? No, I don't. Should I add Sandbox to my portfolio? I've been waiting for a drop. Sandbox actually went up today. So Sandbox has been on fire. Their new virtual game is about to come out, so that is why. So I like them. I don't know if it's a good time to enter because they're still up. If you had to choose a flaming bag of garbage or Squid Moon, what would you choose? Probably the flaming bag of garbage, so I could just throw it away. On layer 2, ETH blog, they recommended a few rollups, and Cortese is one of them. Do you think the content on the blog holds any value? No, but I mean, there's a million layer 2s out there. There's a lot out there. So even if Vitalik himself said everyone should use Cortese, doesn't mean that everyone will use Cortese, right? So Immutable X, Arbitrum, and then of course you have like the EVM compatible chains like Polygon, Phantom, Harmony, Elrond. So yeah, I don't put much weight to it, I guess. Casper, I'm assuming not Casper the Ghost. I forgot what this. First live proof of stake blockchain build off of OK to accelerate enterprise development adoption and meet user needs. Okay, doesn't really say anything that makes it more special than anything else out there, so I'm just gonna be neutral on them. One thing that stands out, which isn't a good thing, circulating supply is only about 25% of the total supply, which means 75% is still left to be released, so that's not good. And I don't know what happened here, why it pumped up originally. So I'm going to say neutral on them. Crypto for everyone, I do believe that is true. I think we could be in that final leg. Winston, thank you for the super chat. Took advantage of the dip and moved my Elon to Ethereum and getting some SOL. Do you still see 10K on Ethereum? I don't see this bull run ending, so yes. All right, guys, last few questions. I'll let you go. Would you rather go on a date with Bruce Jenner or buy some Squid Moon? I don't know. Bruce Jenner is pretty darn rich, so I think probably go on a date. Opolis? Is this what you're asking? Yeah, I don't know why everyone keeps asking about it. So, I mean, they're NFT DeFi for creators, but it's just way too early. I think they pumped because they got some exchange listing recently, but not due to adoption. So, I don't know who's talking about it recently, but everyone keeps asking about it. All right, guys, that is it. Overall, hey, I know Bitcoin's a little bit down, okay? But if you follow the simple strategy, HODL, and have patience and DCA if you can, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, right? We go through these periods. So what explains it? Number of reasons. We don't know exactly. It could be the full moon that's coming tomorrow. Could be because this is the final dip before the massive run. It could be some whale manipulation to shake you out, right? There's many reasons why. But the one true thing is panic selling never helps anyone. So keep that in the back of your mind, right? So stay strong, my friends. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll see where Bitcoin and the crypto market is then. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.